I'm Tobias Leenaert, and I'm a co-founder of Veggie International. I also give worldwide trainings to activists, to vegan and animal rights activists. Together with Melanie Joy, we try to increase the impact of vegan advocacy worldwide. And I have my own blog, veganstrategist.org, and I wrote a book recently called How to Create a Vegan World. And before all this, I was director of the Belgian vegetarian vegan organization EVA, Ethical Vegetarian Alternative, which I led for 15 years. And then after some sort of burnout, I left it and I started just by myself. Well, if somebody says they should make a clone of me, I'm flattered, but in all modesty, what I do is I try to bring some common sense concepts to the movement. I try to think deeply. I try to think rationally and non-dogmatically. If you do that, if you think with an open mind, then now and then you see things in the vegan movement that you wonder, like, is this effective? Is this the best thing we can do for animals? And that's what I'm all about. I look at the movement from a meta perspective, and I think about strategy. I think about what works best, and I write about that and I talk about that. I borrow on my own experience as a person who's led an organization for 15 years, and we've had some successes with that. We are the only organization in the world, I'm talking about EVA now, that is structurally funded by the government. So we were able to get government funding. We have had this for 15 years, and I think we've obtained this by being strategic about our ambitions, being strategic about showing that the objective of the vegan movement is important for everybody. Vegan or not, it's about not just animals, but it's also about environment and health. And if you can show that it's about all these things, you can involve many more stakeholders. And that's also what we do with Veggie International. We talk about all these aspects, not just animal rights. And by talking about them, we can involve businesses and local governments and companies and research and education and media and all these fields. They get really involved and motivated because they realize that these topics are relevant for their constituents. Veggie International is basically the continuation or the rebranding of the German vegetarian society, VEBU, Vegetarier-Bund Deutschlands. And recently we've rebranded it into Veggie International because we thought, like, look, these topics need to be tackled on an international level. And it would be really good to have an international organization on veganism, where in different countries we operate under the same flag, under the same brand. And so since a year and a half or so, we've started to spread all in different countries, and now we are not just active anymore in only Germany, in Berlin, where the headquarters is, but also in the UK, in Spain, in Poland, in South Africa, and we're now getting to be active also in China, and I'm not doubting that there will be many more countries to follow. Division is a bit of a problem sometimes in the vegan movement. Like, we have different groups with their own different ideologies, different philosophies, different strategies. I mean, what I always say is that it is really important, first of all, to believe in each other's good intentions, to believe that the other people are doing it also for the animals, that they have the best interests of the animals at heart. And so we have to be charitable towards each other. And that, I think, is the first step for collaboration. And the second step is, I think, if you look at this, maybe this difference between people who are very abolitionist and people who are more pragmatic and who like an incremental approach. What I try to do in my work is to show that both these approaches lead to the same thing, and that all of us want abolition. We want to stop consuming animals, we want to stop using animals for food, for clothing, for whatever. But also an incremental approach with meat reduction can lead to that. That's, in my book I try to explain how that is. I think that we create, by all these people who reduce, we create a critical mass, and we make it easier for everybody to shift more and more in the direction of veganism and abolition. When it's relatively easy for us today to be vegan, it's actually thanks to all the people who reduce, because they created the supply and demand, they created the market. And it's thanks to them that we have all these products to choose from. So if you look at it like that, if you see that these different strategies lead to the same end goal, then there's not so much to fight about. And then there's a lot to communicate about, and then we can see we have a lot in common, and we can work together because we have the same objective in spite of having different strategies.